Good afternoon and welcome back to Hyundai Dream Ballpark for day 5 of the opening round of the 2018 WBSC U-18 Baseball World Cup. I'm Craig Durham, happy to have you with me for a ball game between Korea and China that's going to get underway in just a few moments' time. Happy again that we're getting some games in today after a wet Monday here in Gijang at the Gijang-Hyundai Dream Ballpark complex, where only 2 games got played, each just 5 innings today. We've gotten one in, we're about to get another one through and start a third. You see Korea's lineup as the home team, and this one is China. Leadoff man Lee Ju-jong, then Kim Ji-chan and Nam Ji-min. If anybody reaches in the first, Park Ju-hong, then Shin Jun-woo, Park Si-won, Park Min, Hyun Won-ho, and Lee Jong-woo, the rest of the starting lineup for this Korea national team, which really has a chance to lock its place in the Super Round with a win here. Lee Sung-ril, the manager, has guided this team to a 3-1 start, the only loss coming to Australia on the second night of the tournament. A look at the defense for China. It's Kang in left field, and Jing in center with Hei in right. Zhang Min-shin is at short. Zhang Wen-tao, Yang Sheng-ao, and Li Yu-yang. The rest of the infield defense, Wang Shuai doing the catching. And on the mound, getting loose, a right-hander, Zhang Yifei. It's the umpires from South Africa, Chinese Taipei, the United States, and España. With the replay umpire today, Stephen Gomes from Canada. So a 5-man group from 5 different nations. There's John Flanagan, the American umpire, at second base, and Geronimo Moreno over at third base. Everybody excited that we're starting not only on time, we're starting early. How often do you get to say that? More often than not, a baseball game gets started late. This one was scheduled after all the rain yesterday to be played at 4 o'clock today, and delays this morning, 4 o'clock today. But here we are at 3:30 and getting underway with a wind blowing out to center field, a temperature in the low 20s, and a very strong likelihood of more rain coming as this day rolls along. China still winless in the tournament. We'll talk more about the standings as we get into it today. But now we're ready to begin. So let's play ball. E, a left-handed hitting designated hitter atop the lineup, waits and takes a strike. Here we go. Nice first pitch from Zhang Yifei. Working on the first base side of the rubber. He points his feet towards the third base line as he goes into motion. The 0-1 pitch sails high. 1 ball, 1 strike. A thriller here at Field 2 earlier this morning, a game that saw the Netherlands beat Australia by a run. That was a 4-3 final. Low and away for a ball. Netherlands added an insurance run that turned out to be a big one in the top half of the 9th inning, taking a 4-1 lead. Australia cut the gap to a run with a 2-run blast, a 1-out, 2-run homer in the bottom of the 9th. But that was as far as the comeback would take them. Now a high pop fly into shallow center. That brings us the first out of the first inning. A nice running catch from Jing Wenbin. Spain put a scare into the United States this morning.
Second baseman, Kim Ji-chan.
Last I had a chance to look at that ball game, the U.S. was opening up a pretty big lead in the 7th inning, an inning they entered trailing 3-2. A win there for Spain over the U.S. would have put the 4-time defending U-18 champion squad from the United States in serious jeopardy of even advancing to the Super Round, which would have been an unheard of disappointment. But should the U.S. take care of business and finish off that game securing a victory, then they are almost definitely, if not mathematically, certainly into the Super Round, which will begin, weather permitting, on Thursday. 2 balls and no strikes now on Kim Ji-chan, the second baseman. All the way back in the box, a good flex to the knees. And a swivel of the hips back. The strike, or rather the pitch, just off the inside corner, so it's ball 3. And a ball onto the field of play. I heard the whistle blow. That ball came from field 3, where the U.S.-Spain game is underway. And apparently we almost had a batter plunked by an errant foul ball. And there's literally nothing anybody can do to defend against that. It's like being hit by bird droppings. When it's just not your day, it's not your day. If you get whacked by a foul ball from an adjacent field. And a 1-out walk and a base runner for Korea. Kim Ji-chan is aboard. None of those pitches really all that close from Zhang. Now pitching from the stretch, he lets loose and misses high on to second for Kim. And a 1-0 count. Again, the whistle, so perhaps incoming. No foul ball finds the field. Ball and a strike. The big first baseman, Nam Ji-min. First right-handed batter. The runner takes off. It's a curveball for a strike. And a stolen base without a throw. Zhang Yifei kind of forgot about him back there, so on to third is Kim Ji-chan representing the game's first run. Korea's lone loss in this tournament came by a lone run, the only run of the game, a 1-0 game. A Saturday night thriller against the Australians. Back-to-back thrillers to start this tournament for Korea. They won 5-4 in extra innings on opening night. One-two here, lifted out towards right center field. Not particularly deep, but tagging from third is Kim. And taking a 1-0 lead is Korea. Sacrifice fly for Nam Ji-min. Walk, a wild pitch, a stolen base. And then the little pop fly out to right center field. Good 2-strike swing right there from Nam. And it's the left fielder, Park Ju-hong's turn. After the 2 close games and the 1-1 start for Korea, things have gotten a little bit easier. Korea beat Canada 8-5 on Sunday. That was a game they led 8-0 at one point. And then last night, one of just 2 games that actually got played, Korea beat Nicaragua 9-0. That was a 5-inning final. 2 5-inning ball games last night. A 9-0 win for Korea and a 3-1 win for Chinese Taipei over Japan. Right now, Chinese Taipei is in first place in Group B. Korea is in first place in Group A. Those 2 teams will likely meet one another in the super round. But nothing's set in stone yet. And now a 2-1 pitch. Low and outside. Korea started scoring in the 3rd inning last night against Nicaragua. Really didn't stop. 3 runs in the 3rd, 1 in the 4th, 5 in the 5th before the rain came pouring down, and now a second walk of the top half of the 1st inning.
5번 타자 3루수 신준호.
It was a combined no-hitter.
Third baseman Shin
Korea.
Jun-woo.
Just not a good night for that Nicaraguan national team. Team that started 2-0, but that's fallen on hard times here in the middle days of the opening round. Now 2-2 in fourth place and tied with Australia and the Netherlands. Three-way 2-2 tie. The two-out batter is Shin. Shin Jun-woo watches a throw go over to first, and a tag applied to the heel just a bit too late. Nicaragua and Canada play head-to-head. As soon as the game between the United States and Spain is done over at Field 3, a pop-up here to right field ends the top of the first inning, a run with no hits, and a man left on first. Korea will try and defend the lead when China comes up on the other side of this short break.
이름을 수비에 들어갈 한국 수비 위치를 말씀드리겠습니다. 투수 오원석, 호수 현원우, 1루수 남진희, 2루수 김지천, 3루수 신준우, 유격수 강민, 좌익수 박주호, 중견수 박시원, 우익수 이정희.
Zhang Wentao leading off for China, then Jing Wenbin and Yang Sheng-ao here in the top half, or rather bottom half of the first inning. Cao Yongkang is in the cleanup spot to be followed by Lu Binbin and then Li Yuyang. Wang Shuai, Zhang Minxin, and He Fu-min go 7, 8, 9 for China's squad in search of its first victory at this 2019 U-18 World Cup. Very good defensive club for Korea. Really the only exception to that was their loss when they committed 4 errors in the 1-0 loss to Australia. Pak in left, Pak in center, E in right. Nam, Kim, Pak, and Shin first to third across the infield with Hyun Won Ho doing the catching. A tall left-handed starter on the hill, Oh Won Sak. And he'll be pitching with a lead. Always great to come out for the bottom half of the first inning with your team already in front.
Bottom of the first inning, China offense. Batting first, shortstop, Chang Wan-tao.
There's Zhang Wen-tao. A lefty-lefty battle, a pitch left upstairs. And off we go into the first inning. Just after 3:30 local time here in Gijang, Korea. 1-0 pitch. Off the end of the bat in the air and out of play, a ball and a strike. In the bottom of the ninth, the United States looking to close the door on Spain. USA leading 8-3. Swing and a miss here, 1-2. We're starting to talk about the Group A picture. A fascinating one so far. The game that'll get underway about a half hour from now between Canada and Nicaragua, as a 1-2 pitch here has popped up into shallow left field, and it falls for a hit. I think it's kicked around a little bit. A wide turn around first base, and a man awarded second base. Can't really understand why. There's the pop-up. There's the effort from Pak Min, the shortstop, beyond his reach. Frozen between first and second. That's why he was awarded second base. Kim Ji-chan, the second baseman, got in the way. High and outside. 1 ball, no strikes. And that's ruled an error. I think it's the bobble that's ruled an error. Base hit and an error. So the first hit of the game belongs to China. And then the bobble out in left field, allowing Zhang the extra base. And a strike poured in. It's 1-1. What an opportunity for China to pull even here in the first. Won-Sak delivers a 1-1 that's high and up out of the zone. Nicaragua, to finish the thought that we started a moment ago, will have to win its game against Canada over at Field 3, which starts very shortly, if they want to advance. This ball's rocketed out towards right center. This could tie the game, but what a grab in center field from Pak Si-wan, who throws to second, and it's a double play. Oh, baby, was that something in right center, sliding feet first towards the fence. Not great base running from Gijang-Hyundai, but can you blame him? That one really looked like it was labeled for the gap.
Second baseman, Yang Xiang-ao.
Using the slip and slide turf before springing up and throwing it in. Score the double play, 8-6. 2 outs, bases empty, and a strike called to Yang Xiang-ao. Man. That was awesome. One and one. That one's down. It ties the game and puts a runner on second. A go-ahead run with nobody out. Instead, China's got to find a way to reach base and extend this first inning. Baseball gods don't want me to finish talking about Nicaragua's chances of staying alive, but again, Canada can really bury that team if they win. We'll keep an eye on it once it gets started. Now a 1-2 pitch. Fouled back. Another look at the great running grab, the slide, and the appreciation from Won-Sak, who had his job in the first inning made a lot easier by that catch. Another 1-2 from him, a swing and a miss for strike 3. Side retired, and we're off to the second. Korea with a 1-0 lead over China. What an unusual little line score we were all just looking at there in the bottom right-hand corner of your screen. 1 run with no hits and an error for Korea. No runs, 1 hit, no errors for China. So you could argue might not be right, but you could argue that China played better in the first inning, yet entered the second trailing by a run. And it's ball one to Pak Si-won as we ponder how it all went wrong in that first inning. It was a walk, a wild pitch, and a stolen base that brought Kim Ji-chan over to third base, scoring when Nan Ji-min flew out to center field. Not even deep center field, but deep enough for the sacrifice. And that's the difference so far, and that's a really nasty pitch from Zhang Yifei. He needed 20 pitches to get through that first inning. And he has the bottom of the zone to move ahead 1-2. That's back-to-back pitches with really good sinking action. And now his 1-2 stays high. It's a final score now over at Field 3. The United States back in the win column after a disappointing defeat against Japan 2 nights ago. Their game yesterday rained out. A lengthy U-18 win streak snapped with that loss to Japan. But the U.S. now 3-1, tied with Japan and Chinese Taipei for first in Group B, and I think that settles it. Spain is 1-3. They will not advance. And unless Panama upsets Japan tonight, there will be no movement in Group B in terms of who's into the Super Round and who will be playing in the consolation bracket. Looks like Japan, Chinese Taipei, and the United States, world's number 1, 4, and 2, respectively. And actually, if you're, well, I guess you can't put them in order since they're all tied and they've all beaten each other. Anyway, that's Group B. We're here in Group A where there's a man on first. It's the third walk issued by Zhang. Couple of tosses towards first. Second one gets away from Lee Yu-yang. And an error to move the man from first to second. I think we'll call it an E3. The ball just hit off the heel of the glove of Lee Yu-yang, China's first baseman. Now a pitch called a strike to the right-handed hitting shortstop. Pak drives it to right center field, really well hit. And almost run down, but it bounces off the top of Hei Fu-min's glove. And it's gonna be second and third with nobody out. That's the same spot where we saw a tremendous running grab made in the bottom of the first by Pak Si-won. He was there. He just couldn't squeeze it. It's almost hard to watch that replay and figure out how he didn't make that catch. Just off the top of the glove where we had the ball thrown to first to check on the runner. Hit off the heel of Lee Yu-yang's glove. This one went off the top of Hei Fu-min's glove. And are we going to move some fielders around? Or is he going to be taken out of the game? Seriously? Looks like it. No messing around, apparently. A dropped fly ball and a new right fielder. It wasn't even an error. And it's second and third after that double. And a ball up high. Wow. That's kind of stunning. We'll let you know who the new right fielder is when we see. It happened so quickly, I didn't even see anybody come out and talk to the umpire. And, well, doesn't matter who's in right field there. 2 runs are going to score and another double. And it's 3-0 Korea. Back-to-back doubles after the leadoff walk.
Batting 9, right fielder Lee.
And with the theme of the top of the second inning revolving around right fielders, here comes another Lee Jong-woo. Right-handed hitting right fielder, trying to keep it rolling for Korea. Grounds it to third, though, picked up by Zhang. And to first for the out, the first of the inning. Still on second is Hyun.
Batting first, designated hitter Lee Ju-hyun.
Korea can guarantee a spot in the Super Round with a win here. They're the only 3-1 team alone in first place in Group A. Two and nothing the count on Lee Ju-jong, the DH, who led off with a fly out to center. Hit that ball pretty well last inning. Now 3-0, and Zhang Yifei is in danger of walking a 4th batter. Walked a third of the men he faced the first trip through the lineup. Another walk.
이번 타자 1루수 김지찬. Batting second baseman 김지찬.
Kim Ji-chan, the second baseman, with 2 aboard. A 5th straight pitch outside of the strike zone. That one was down in the mud. Ground ball right side into right field. A base hit and a bases loaded setup with 1 away as Korea is threatening to really blow it open here in the top of the second.
Batting third, first baseman.
A walk, 2 doubles, a ground out. Another walk and now a single, and Nam Ji-min already has 5 hits and 7 runs batted in this tournament. Digging in, perhaps the most dangerous bat in the lineup here, and a great spot to drive in a few. The first pitch, called a strike. He is 5 for 10 in the tournament. And he hits it on the ground towards third. Great grab made by Zhang, who races to his base and forces out Lee Ju-jong, but a run comes in. That's a trade China will happily make as they get through the dangerous first baseman with minimal damage. He's on first. The only other base runner now, Kim Ji-chan, But it's not over yet. Park Ju-hong, the cleanup hitter, comes in 4 for 11 in the tournament. Having drawn a walk in the first, he waits, he swings, he rips it past first base, foul. Ricocheting off the sidewall. No home runs for Korea yet in the tournament. No triples yet either. And now quickly 2 strikes on Pak. This could end the inning. A high pop fly into shallow left field. And we're off to the bottom of the second. A 3-run top of the second has Korea in front 4-0. All the fans wearing ponchos, many with the hood up. It's really not raining that hard. It's a light drizzle at the moment. There's a thick mist hanging atop the mountains beyond the left center field wall here at Field 2. It's kind of an eerie atmosphere, but certainly good enough to play ball in as we start the bottom of the second with strike 1 to Cao Kang. Left-handed hitting left fielder who made the catch that ended the top half of this second inning. Bounced in, 1-1. Korea can become the first 4-1 team at this tournament with a win. And the team that handed them their only loss to this point, Australia, they're in serious jeopardy of advancing to the Super Round. If they lose tomorrow to Canada, you can pretty much bet on them not advancing to the Super Round. 1-2 is spoiled, but still so many scenarios in play. We'll just have to wait for things to come to us at their more natural pace. 3 teams right now, 2-2, Australia, Nicaragua, and the Netherlands. Called third strike, back-to-back strikeouts for Oh-won Sak. Got Yang swinging to end the first, and now he'll go up against the designated hitter, Loo Bin Bin. Mixing his pitches nicely, goes to the fastball to get ahead 0-1. Mr. Loo, 2 for 8, an RBI in the tournament. Comes unglued, but comes up empty, and he's down 0-2. China's team average is at an even 200. They've scored a total of 8 runs through the first 3 games played, plus a couple innings today, I suppose. A tough one on opening day, losing to Canada 17-3. That Canadian squad was looking awfully good on day 1, and have throughout much of this tournament. Now it's a strikeout of Liu Bin, and that's 3 in a row you can stack up for Oh-Wan Sock. He tries to make it a 1-2-3 frame.
Batting 6, first baseman Li Yu-Yang.
China's day 2 opponent, Nicaragua, and that turned into a pretty nice little ball game. Nicaragua won it in 9, 6-3. The game, we should mention, with Canada was called after 7 innings because of the 14-run lead. On day 3, China again played just 7, losing 13-2 to Australia. And those scores may matter should Australia and Canada end up tied in the opening round standings. Might help determine who advances to the super round if there's a 3-way tie, which there very likely will be. 1-0 now. High and outside. The first baseman for China, meanwhile, Li Yu-Yang. 1 for 8, a double, 2 runs scored in his 3 games played. A line drive and a 3rd hit in the tournament for Li. A 2-out base runner for China.
Batting 7, catcher Wang Shuai.
That's a nice job sending that curveball to the opposite field. Now a hard ground ball into left. Back-to-back 2-out hits, both well struck. Tying run moves into the on-deck circle, and China doesn't have to worry about tying it up here in the second, but after that big 3-run top of the second, it'd be awfully good for this team if they want to stay competitive to get at least 1 back, if not a couple. A couple of balls left out over the plate, and they weren't missed. Another one hit hard, but this will go foul for a strike. Jiang-Ming, a right-handed hitter. Third baseman who's 1 for 5. Making his first plate appearance today in a big spot, and he's down 0-2. Oh-Wan Sock looking in for the signs. He sets. 0-2. Foul tipped, and that one not quite good enough to sneak entirely by China's third baseman. Won Ho almost squeezed it. Chopper to third. A foot race to the bag, and the side retired. No runs, 2 hits, 2 left for China. They threaten but do not score, and will go to the third. It's Korea 4, China nothing.
Top of the third inning, Republic of Korea offense. Batting fifth, third baseman Shin Jun-woo.
Korea with a 4-0 lead. 3 hits aside after 2 innings of play. Each team's committed an error. And we start the third with ball 1 low. It's just been a case where Korea's taken advantage of its opportunities in a way that China hasn't been able to. And now 2-0 on the only man who didn't bat for Korea in the second when they scored 3 times. Shin Jun-woo. A good pitch. Strike 1. Shin Jun-woo flew out to right field to end the first inning. And that bounces in. He moves ahead, 3 balls and a strike. Three and 2. And it's a walk. Too many of those so far from Gijang-Hyundai. He has walked 5. Oh. And he hands off the baseball, and we'll go into a pitching change with a man on first and nobody out. Korea trying to build on a 4-0 lead here in the third.
There'll be a change of player. Pitcher Jiao Wei.
Zhao Wei, the new pitcher for China. The left-hander inherits a base runner and goes to work against Park Si-won, the center fielder, who walked and scored to start the 3-run top of the second for Korea. The visitors today, though, playing on home soil. Nice little pickoff move on display there from Zhao. Five walks issued by the starter, Zhang Yifei. A bunt attempt and a strike. 4 runs on 3 hits with the 5 walks. All of the runs earned runs, I believe. They were all earned. Right now, Zhang Yifei is on the hook for the loss. One and one, meanwhile, on Park Si-won. High pop fly, third base side. When you hear the whistles blow, you kind of know that it's going to be out of play. Takes just a hint of mystery out of the proceedings. I've been to thousands of baseball games in my life. I can honestly say I've never seen that until just the other day here. But it's smart when you've got all these fields bunched together. Folks walking between one and another. It's kind of like yelling four when you play golf and you hit the ball the wrong hole. You're supposed to hit it straight, but if you're like me, you hit it 50 yards right of the target, and there's folks just going about their business, and you're in danger of hitting them on the head. Well, it's the same thing here when you're walking field to field, and even in some cases, when players are playing, as we saw earlier today, a batter on field 2 almost got hit by a foul ball from field 3. Nice job by Zhang Wei to come into the game and work hard, but strike out Park Si-won for the first out of the 3rd inning. And now Pak Min, the shortstop, who doubled and scored just an inning ago, and takes a strike here to fall behind 0-1. Two final scores from earlier today. The Netherlands beating Australia 4-3 in a game the Netherlands had to win to keep their Super Round hopes alive. The United States beating Spain 8-3. Spain led that game 3-2 in the 7th inning, and if Spain had won, the U.S. might not have been able to advance to the Super Round, but they've all but assured a place in the Super Round with that victory. Now 4-0 here. Look at how small that first baseman is for China. That's Li Yu-yang. Just doesn't fit the profile of your typical first baseman. Normally you want somebody over there to give you a big target. Pitch down in the dirt, blocked nicely by Wang Shuai. Chopper off the mound. The throw to second. Out there, and that'll be all. Great play again. Zhao Wei comes in, gets the strikeout, and then cuts down the lead runner. Park safe on the fielder's choice. Score the out at second, 1-6. Hyun Won Ho, the catcher who doubled like Park before him last inning, comes up now. Park Min's double, you may recall, bounced off the top of the glove of the hard-charging right fielder, Hei Fu Min. And Hei Fu Min, after he failed to squeeze the pretty tricky fly ball in right field, one that was tricky enough that it wasn't even ruled an error, he was yanked out of the game, taken off the field. He hasn't been seen since, and won't be again today. Hopefully we'll see him again later on in the tournament. It really wasn't that bad of a play. Now a That ball driven on a line to center field, but right at Jung Wen-bin, and that's the side in the top of the third. No runs, no hits, and one left. 2.5 complete. Korea 4, China nothing. The 5th day of the opening round of the U-18 Baseball World Cup. It was supposed to be the last day of the opening round, but because of heavy rains the last few days, we will play at least 4 games tomorrow, the scheduled off day. Korea will not have to play tomorrow. As of right now, there are 4 teams that will enjoy the off day as scheduled. The 4 teams that were able to get their games in last night, albeit 5-inning games. Korea, Nicaragua, Japan, and Chinese Taipei. Of that group, 3 will probably be advancing to the super round. 1, Nicaragua, unless they win their game with Canada this afternoon, will not. They could win that game, though. It's a pretty good squad for Nicaragua. Now, close pitch, just misses at 0-2. And Hei Fu Min, the right fielder, pardon me, the new right fielder, Wang Rui Juan, waits for a 1-2. And he chases it down on strikes, and that's the 4th strikeout for Oh Won-sak, his first trip through the order. Good curveball. I don't know. Hei Fu Min never got to bat down there in the 9 slot. See if Wong, after that strikeout, is allowed to go back in and play right field. Living in the strike zone here in the 3rd inning is Oh. He's ahead of Zheng Wen-dao. A single in the 1st inning. That's the first of China's 3 hits. Zheng was thrown out at second on the back end of an 8-6 double play. Now he flies it to left center, and the catch will be made by Pak for the 2nd out of the inning. Here comes the guy that hit the ball to deep right center that started that 8-6 double play.
Center fielder, Xing Wan-bin.
Xing Wan-bin. Looked like he had extra bases until Pak Si-won came flying out of nowhere to make the grab, went sliding towards the fence, popped up, threw a bullet to second for a great double play. And now he flies it again to right center. And again, Pak Si-won has it for the out that retires the side. 1, 2, 3 goes China. For the first time, we've got 3 innings in the books with Korea ahead 4-0.
한국 공격 기록하자 이정. Top of the first inning, Republic of Korea offense, batting 9.
Kind of a small crowd by the Korea game standards. They've usually been filling it up in the opening round as they've won 3 of 4 prior to this one and lead it 4-0 here today. But a little bit tougher to get folks out on a rainy Tuesday afternoon than, say, the Friday, Saturday night games, a Sunday afternoon affair. Still, there were even more folks here last night for the game played in harder rain than this, the 9-0 win over Nicaragua. But that game was scheduled to be played at that time. This one's been adjusted, so you can forgive the folks for not coming out in droves today. Lee Jong-woo, meanwhile, leads off with a hard line drive that's caught at second for the out. How fortunate is this Korea team that they do get that rest day tomorrow?
Batting first, designated hitter Lee Ju-hyun.
The United States will have to play a game tomorrow. Australia and Canada will have to play tomorrow. Depending on what the weather does later on today, Japan and Chinese Taipei may also get to enjoy the day off. So you could be looking at a situation where the Super Round starts on Thursday with 3 teams having played the day before and 3 teams having rested. And that may, you never know, but very well might give those 3 teams that get the rest a little bit of an advantage. But that's getting a bit ahead of ourselves. We don't even know the schedule for tomorrow yet, as we'll await the rest of today's action. Saw the disappointment there on the face of Lee Ju-hyun, who thought he could have driven that pitch instead of fouling it up the first baseline. Now he's down 1-2. And the pitch from Zhao Wei. Big sweeping breaking ball that finishes away. 2-2. He flew out to center field in the first inning, walked in the second. And he grounds it again right side, past 2 diving Chinese infielders. And he's aboard with his first hit, a 1-out single here in the top of the 4th.
Batting second baseman Kim Ji-chan.
A lot of the damage has come from the top of this lineup. 2 of the 4 runs have been driven in by Nan Ji-min, who's out in the on-deck circle now. and will bat here in the fourth, barring a double play. The 20th pitch of Zhao Wei's outing is a foul ball. Final line for the starter, Gijang-Hyundai, 2 innings, 3 hits, 4 runs, all earned with 5 walks. That was his downfall today, the wildness. Made some good pitches, but then there were at-bats where he just wasn't competitive, wasn't really in the strike zone at all. And a little flick of the wrists and a ball dumped down into left field. A wide turnaround second, but ultimately Lee Ju-young will stop there. And something developing with 1 away for Korea, 2 on. Ahead of Nam Ji-min. Steady diet of those big curves. Sometimes your best defense against a pitch like that, if you're a left-handed batter facing a left-handed pitcher, is just to poke it. Try and either sneak it on the ground through the 5-6 hole, or as you saw right there, drop it fair, short down the line, and a good pitch to get ahead of Nam for a strike. 2 RBIs without a hit. He's 0 for 1, a sacrifice fly in the first inning. He grounded into a fielder's choice in the second. And he takes a look at a thigh-high fastball, and the count is 0-2. One, two, three. Good pitches there from Zhao Wei for his first strikeout of the 4th inning, I suppose. He did strike out the first man he faced, Foxy Wan, last inning, but man, facing a really good hitter, he did not back down to the challenge. And now he'll try and strand the base runners. Going up against the cleanup man, starting with the good curve for strike 1. Five straight strikes, nothing in 2. Korea's left fielder has walked and flown out to left. The 2 base runners, sizable leads. Hitting the target intentionally wide there. It's 1-2 now. The signals with the runner on second. 2-2. And after pouring 5 straight strikes in, has missed with 3 straight, which will allow the runners a head start ahead of his 30th offering. There they go. And it's ball 4 to load him up. That one just got away from Zhao Wei. First walk he has yielded.
Batting 5th, 3rd baseman Shin Jun-woo.
Shin Jun-woo. Big spot now. Korea's made a habit out of leaving men on base through the first 3 innings. Will they do it again here in the 4th? We'll start with ball 1. A runner left on first in the 1st. The base is left loaded in the 2nd. A man left in the 3rd, so 5 through the first 3 frames. 1-0. This has been the best outing so far for Zhao Wei. Not his first. Behind in the count, 2-1 now. This is the 3rd game that Zhao Wei's appeared in, having pitched against Canada and Australia. 2-1 coming, and now 3 balls and a strike. He'll have to come into Park Ju-hong's, or Shin Jun-woo's strike zone, I should say. As the light rain continues to fall here at field 2. 3-1 in the air. Center field, not deep, and for the 2nd time in 4 innings, Korea leaves the bases loaded. This team is stranded 8 through 3.5, though they maintain a 4-0 edge over China.
한국의 선수 교체가 있겠습니다. 투수 장재영. Will be a change of player. Pitcher 장재영.
서울의 중국 공격 3번 타자 1루수 양세나우.
Korea goes to the bullpen with a 4-0 lead into the bottom of the 4th. Jang Jae-young, the right-hander, takes over for Oh Won-sak, who made a good showing in his first start of the tournament, allowing just 3 hits. Didn't walk anybody and struck out 4. Didn't go deep enough into the game to earn the win, but did his part as Korea tries to rest some of their more often used arms. A ground ball here after the broken bat, resulting in out number 1. And that's the first out recorded this tournament by Jang Jae-young, who is making his first appearance on the mound. Really, it's a day to test out a couple of guys who don't necessarily log a lot of innings. And with a rest day tomorrow, Korea is set up to take its full complement of pitchers into the super round. Very rested, and we'll see whether or not ready. 1-0 now on the cleanup hitter. Count. He struck out looking when he faced Oh Won-sak leading off the 2nd. 1-1 now. That pitch at 145 kilometers per hour. Some gas. That one at 146 for ball 2. China, one of just 2 winless teams in this tournament. High fly ball here, right field. Fairly deep. Still going back. And onto the track for Lee Jong-woo to make that catch, 2 away. The wind, which was blowing out to straightaway center field when we got underway just over an hour ago, is now kind of blowing out towards left. So may have gotten a little help there, but not much. A wind that, at the moment at least, most certainly favors right-handed hitters. And a strike with 2 outs to Liu Bin. South Africa was the only team that didn't earn a victory at the 2017 edition of the U-18 World Cup. South Africa is the other winless team in the 2019 edition as well. Both China and South Africa 0-3 coming into today. They will meet in the consolation round. And they both still have 2 chances to pick up W's in this opening round. Swing and a miss, strike 3, and that's a 1-2-3 first inning of work, and an impressive one at that from Jang Jae-young. We'll go to the 5th, Korea 4, China nothing. A nice one shaping up here as we move into the 5th. Korea 4, China nothing. The visitors, this Korea national team, sending up the 6, 7, 8 hitters to start the 5th inning. Park Si-won to lead off. The center fielders 0 for 1. He struck out in the 3rd. He walked and scored in the 2nd. He also led off that inning. That was against the right-handed starter, Zhang Yifei. Now the lefty, Zhao Wei, gets ahead with a pretty filthy curveball. Back to it for strike 2. We were saying this is the best outing for Zhao Wei so far. He's been hit very hard in each of his first 2 outings of the tournament. Now he pauses mid-motion, brings home the 0-2, and gets a check swing. On opening day against Canada, gave up 4 earned on 3 hits and a walk in 2 innings of work. And then against Australia, he was lit up for 6 earned runs, 6 hits in an inning and 2/3. But today he's got some good stuff working for him, and now a ground ball to second. And a throw to first just in time to get the hustling Park Si-won, who seemed to make up his mind once that ball hit the ground that he was going to beat it out, and he very nearly did.
Batting 7, shortstop Park Min.
No urgency from Yang Sheng-ao, the second baseman. He sat back and waited for that ball to roll to him slowly. A ball off home plate. to Pak Min, the shortstop, who doubled and scored in the second, then reached on a fielder's choice. Effectively a swinging bunt in the third inning, a little roller that came back to Zhao Wei, who picked it up, spun around, and got an out at second base. He has yet to allow a run today. He's stranded 4 base runners in his 2 innings of work. Little gyration of the hips. A 2-1 tugged foul. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Canada's opened the scoring over at field 3. They have a 1-0 lead over Nicaragua as they play in the second. Two here. Ripped into left field, a base hit for Pak Min, his second. And a base runner with 1 out for Korea.
8번 타자 투수 현원호.
Batting 8, catcher Hyun Won-hee.
A nice outing from Zhao Wei, who runs out of gas and gives up that hit. We'll tell you about the new pitcher in just a moment here as Korea leads 4-0.
중국의 선수 교체가 있겠습니다. 투수 지하오지에.
There'll be a change of player. Pitcher Zhou Jie.
A really nice job done by China's second pitcher, but he departs with 1 out and a runner on first, handing it over to Zhao Jie, a righty who sets up above the letters and brings his first pitch in the same way, high to Hyun Won-ho, the catcher. Big strong kid, doubled back in the second, came around to score. Now he skies it. It'll stay in the infield. We've got 2 outs in the top of the 5th with Pak still on first. Nice job to come into the game by Zhao Jie, get that out.
Batting 9, right fielder Lee Jong-woo.
Nice jacket, nice sports jacket or a shirt, can't tell which one. Couple of checks on the Korean shortstop, who does run well, but this hasn't been a game where anybody's been forcing the issue on the base paths. Now a pitch outside, and it's 1-0 on Lee Jong-woo, right fielder, who is the only player for Korea yet to reach base. He lined out sharp liner to second last inning. That was leading off against Zhao Wei, really smoked it, but just so happened that it was right at Yang Sheng-ao. Now he fouls one off his foot and is locked in a 1-1 battle. The pitch, 1-2. His first time up, he grounded out to third. Korea has stranded 8 runners through 4 innings and in danger of leaving a 9th here with 2 outs in the top of the 5th. Runner goes, and a good jump, a stolen base for Pak Min, and now a base hit might put another run on the board for Korea. Second steal of the day for Korea as a team. 2-2, ground ball hit to short, picked up by Zhang Wentao. The side is retired, so it is in fact a 9th man left stranded by Korea through 4.5, though they still lead it 4-0. I still don't know if it's a shirt or a jacket, but I still like it. That gentleman enjoying a pretty good ball game moving into the bottom of the 5th. China looking to get on the board. They have been held scoreless despite piling up 3 hits in the first 2 innings. Oh-Wan Sok then worked a 1-2-3 third. That would be his last inning before handing it off to Jang Jae-young, who sent down the side in order in the 4th and really looks quite comfortable on the mound. His 1-0. Strike at the knees. Lee Yu-yang, the first baseman. That's a really, really nice pitch. Lee has one of China's 3 hits. He went for a lot more than just a hit right there. He was trying to get that one up and out towards that right field wall. Instead, he falls behind 1-2. Curveball pops softly to third. Nice work there by Zhang. And all of a sudden, China's run out of ways to put men on base. 8 in a row retired by Korean pitching. Back to the mound. And that's a way to get a man aboard. Nice job by Wang Shuai. And it caught everybody off guard there, and becomes a 1-out base runner. A great bunt. A better throw would have had him, though, and that's going to go down as an error. Second of the game against Korea. Another bunt, this one back to the mound, and another opportunity, this time a better throw to first. 2 down. Wong to second.
9번 타자 우익수 왕루이션.
Batting
A
ninth,
successful
right fielder,
sacrifice
Wang
bunt.
Rui-Xuan.
And now Wang Rui-Xuan came into the game as a defensive replacement in the second inning, top of the second inning, when a fly ball to right center was dropped by Hei Fu Min. Good pitch out over the outer half. A look back at second, the 0-1, and that time Wong showed bunt. Falls behind 0-2 after pulling the bat back. Here's a big pitch, 0-2. And a nice job by Hyun, the catcher, to go down and keep that one from sneaking by him. Canada's lead, meanwhile, over Nicaragua is up to 4. And that's a called third strike, and a really good pitch from Jang Jae-young to send us into our break after the 5th. It'll be about 5 minutes when we'll come back with the 6th, and I love that coat. It's 4-0 Korea.
유격수 강민.
Batting third, second base.
2번 타자 유로수.
Center field, right field. Center field.
Center field and right field. Change.
Okay.
Yeah. Position, yeah.
Cross,
Yeah.
cross.
중국의 선수 교체가 있겠습니다. 중견수 호황강.
There'll be a change of player. Center fielder Ho Han Gang.
Umpire. Center field is new player.
No, it's not a new player. It's just change over. Center fielder is changing with right hand field. Yeah.
6회 초 한국 공격 1번 지명타자 이주영.
Top of the sixth inning, Republic of Korea offense. Batting first.
Grounds
designated
crew
hitter
here, along with the
Gijang-Hyundai.
technical committee, have done a great job keeping these fields playable through 3 days now of rain, steady rain. It's only forced us to postpone 2 games thus far. They got the field spruced up so we can begin the 6th inning. Korea with a 4-0 lead, looking for more, and they're at the top of the lineup here. Lee Ju-young, 1 for 2, a single. Ahead 1-0, swings and launches it high into the air, but foul right field way. Zhao Jie, new pitcher for China, the 3rd pitcher, I should say. He was able to get out of the 5th inning while stranding a 9th Korean base runner. And now a pop fly that might be playable in foul ground near third base. Racing over the shortstop, Zhang, but just beyond where he was able to get to, and now we hope he gets up. Kind of an awkward slide as he approached that side fence. And he's doubled over, hands on his knees. Watch how fast he came racing across. Ooh, it was the end of the play. So much can be gleaned from that look at Lee Ju-young's face. He was concerned first for his own well-being as a baseball player. Wanted to make sure that nobody was going to get to that ball, but then you saw he was not so pleased to see his opponent go hard into the wall, and now he takes the pitch high, and it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. These 2 teams no strangers to one another in international competitions, though this is their first U-18 meeting in a very long time. They last met in the 2018 U-18 Asian Championship. Another pop foul, kind of in that same area. And the count holds at 3-2. They met in the semifinals of that 2018 U-18 Asian Championship, with Korea winning by a final score of 11-0. Korea won that U-18 Asian Championship. Korea's done well against Asian opponents at the U-18 World Cup, winning 3 of their last 4 games against Asian opponents. Leadoff walk here to start the 6th. And the 3rd trip to the base paths for Lee Ju-young.
이번 타자 1루수 김지찬.
Batting second baseman Kim
The only time
Ji-chun.
that Korea's lost to an Asian opponent in a U-18 World Cup game in the last 4 years was a 12-0 defeat in 2015 in the Super Round against Japan. China, the only Asian opponent in the opening round for Korea. They will take on Chinese Taipei and Japan, presumably in the Super Round, if we don't get any massive surprises here down the stretch of the opening round. And again, Korea can become the first definitive entrant into the Super Round with a win here right now. Just 4 innings away. Fewer if they start piling some runs up. If a team builds a 10-run lead the first 7 innings, then they win the game in 7. China's already had 2 of its 3 losses come in 7 innings. Nice play there at first by Lee Yu-yang
Batting third, first
to make the
baseman
pick on the
Nam Ji-min.
in-between hop on the ground ball. He thought about trying to go down to second and cut down the lead runner, but a better decision to just take it over and touch first base. So leadoff walk, a productive ground out, and now Nam Ji-min, Korea's third baseman. Bouncing the bat around, holding it beside his ear, and taking ball 1 high and tight. Nam's driven in 2 of Korea's 4. A sacrifice fly in the first inning, a ground out to third that brought in a run in the second. Two and nothing, and that one wound up in center field. So on to third. You see the rain picking up a bit, and the stop sign was on from Nam Ji-min. That throw didn't need to be made from behind home plate, and then sailed off into center. You see that fan there under the jacket. This is the hardest rain we've played in so far today. And a high fly ball to left field. The catch is made. The throw to the plate. A strong throw from Cao Yang-kong. And 2 outs with a runner on third for the cleanup hitter, Park Ju-hong. That fly ball just not deep enough to produce a run.
Left fielder Park Ju-hong.
This one blasted out to right. This could go. It's a 2-run bomb as Korea builds a 6-0 lead. Park Ju-hong leaves no doubt as he leaves the yard and creates some separation here in the top of the 6th inning.
Batting fifth, third baseman Shin Jun-woo.
First real mistake thrown by Zhao Jie. It's 312 down the line and right with a 16-foot wall, though that one wasn't right down the line. That one got out of here with room to spare. Good fastball for a strike over the outer half of the plate. See the left arm of today's Korean starter, Oh Won-sak, being iced in the dugout. And an off-speed pitch cut on and missed. It's 1-2. First 2 runs for Korea since they scored 3 in the second. But here's a 1-2 pitch that's called strike 3 to end the inning. A nice bounce back effort from Zhao Jie. And after 5.5, it's Korea 6, China nothing.
6회 말 중국 공격 1번 타자 유격수 장앤타오.
Bottom of the sixth inning, China offense. Batting first, shortstop Chang Wan-tao.
If China's going to get back into this game, now would be a good time to start. And there's a ball that's going to wind up at the wall in right field. So atop the order, Gijang-Hyundai racing around second is on his way to third with a leadoff triple. He's fired up. And he should be, really got that ball off the sweet spot. We're talking about mistakes. That's the first one from John. An opportunity here for China to at the very least get on the board and wipe off one of those insurance runs. And Korea just scored on the 2-run homer. 0-1. Line drive into center field, and that does indeed add a run to China's tournament total. They're on the board at 6-1 here in the bottom of the sixth, and a throw to first. Jang Wen-bin is safe.
Batting third, second baseman Yang Song-ao.
RBI knock for the center fielder. And apologies, that's actually the new center fielder, Ho Ham Gang. The Smoky Mountains, misty beyond the center field wall with thick, wet clouds. A steadying rain coming down. First real test for Jang Jae-young, who came in the fourth, retired the first 4 batters he faced, and had only allowed 1 base runner through 2 innings, and it was because of a throwing error that he himself committed. And now the triple and the single. And a lot of attention being paid to the base runner here. Korea, though, carrying a 5-run lead right now, only has a 2-hit advantage, 7-5 over China. Not a perfectly played game in terms of the defense. Each team has committed a pair of errors. That was a curveball fouled back for strike 2 by Yang Cheng-ao. Still 0-2. Canada's lead 4-0 over Nicaragua in the top of the 4th inning at field 3, just off to our right. The 2 games to be played tonight, Panama and Japan, and Chinese Taipei and South Africa. Panama, Japan will be here at field 2. The other game at field 3, as field 1 has been rendered unplayable by 3 days of rain and no tarp in sight. It's a shame, too. It's a nice ballpark. It's the only all grass, all dirt surface here, but there isn't any way to cover it up. So when it rains for days on end, as it has here the past few, you're kind of out of luck when it comes to playing games over there. 1-2 pitch, just a bit inside. And a nice at bat here taking shape from Yang Cheng-ao, who's gone 0 for 2 with a strikeout and a ground out to short. And again, another throw to first. I wouldn't be all that concerned here if I'm Jang Jae-young with any base runner. Got a 5-run lead right now. You need outs. 2-2 is low. This game has all of a sudden slowed to a crawl here in the bottom of the 6th. These Chinese hitters have given Jang Jae-young a lot to think about. Now he's allowed 3 straight base runners. He's walked Yang Sheng-ao. That's not good for Korea. Just needs to take care of business here today, and we'll be able to advance to the super round. And they've been taking care of business, but maybe it's Jang's time to have run into a wall as we look back at the top of the 6th and that 2-run homer that at the time felt like it really put the game out of reach, but here we are. China in kind of its best situation all day. A long conversation at the mound, though no pitching change follows it.
Batting fourth, left fielder Ko Yong-gang.
Only 30 pitches in the outing from Jang Jae-young. That's how economical he was in his first 2 frames. He's thrown all these pitches here in the 6th, his 3rd inning. He's allowed 3 straight base runners, and he's only now at 31 pitches. He really needed that strike. It was a great pitch, his best of the inning. Formidable opponent in Cao Yang-kang. Big bat planted in China's cleanup spot. Big bat, but one that's been quieted throughout this tournament. He's 0 for 8, including an 0 for 2 showing so far today. The 1-2 pitch, swung on and missed, strike 3. 3rd strikeout, and a big one from Jang.
Batting fifth, designated hitter.
Just blowing it by him. And that's going to be the last pitch he throws. Gets to leave on a high note. Lee Sung-yul out of the dugout. And we'll await the new pitcher. It's 6-1 Korea here with runners on 1st and 2nd and 1 out in the bottom of the 6th inning. And we'll be right back to tell you about the new pitcher here in Gijang.
야, 지민아, 왜야?
한국의 선수 교체가 있겠습니다. 투수 이주엽.
There'll be a change of player. Pitcher Lee Ju-yeop.
Lee Ju-yup, the new pitcher for Korea. A right-hander who inherits 2 base runners. First and second, 1 out. Leadoff triple, and then a single and a run on the board for China as Korea has a 5-run edge at 6-1. First pitch swinging, maybe looking for a fastball, instead adjusting to the curve to foul it away was Lu Bin. Lead runner is Zhang Yang behind him. Korean pitchers have struck out 7 so far. Four by the starter, Oh Won-sak, 3 by Jang Jae-young. This Chinese team is not going away. One ball, 2 strikes. Curveball hammered out to left center. Long run for a couple of outfielders. Neither will get there. Picking it up is Park Ju-hong in right. A runner coming in to score as the throw is not in time. Another tagged out at home plate, and that's a really, really unfortunate bit of base running by China. Running into the second out of the inning. Wow, I'm not sure what happened there with Yang Sheng-ao, but he had no business trying to score behind Zhang Wenbin. Both runners had to wait to see if it would be caught, and they actually didn't play it correctly. You may have seen in the bottom right-hand corner of the screen, Zhang Wenbin was standing on second base, his foot on the bag as if he was going to tag in advance. You got to play that one halfway. Now with the 2 outs and the 2 runs on the board, kind of undoing the home run. The 2-out, 2-run blast from Park Ju-hong there in the top of the 6th. The batter will be Lee Yu-yang. Lu Bin crushing that ball out to left center field. He scored the putout at home plate, meanwhile, 9-6-2. But imagine where China could be right now with second and third and 1 out. They'd have the tying run in the on-deck circle. A real opportunity to put together a big inning in the bottom of the 6th. Still a 4-run game, though, and a long way to go. Lee Ju-yup ahead 0-1. Comes from the letters and has a lazy curve stay high. A 1-for-2 day so far from China's first baseman. Left-handed hitter who stands still and then swings, chasing a pitch in the dirt. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Popped up foul. And for those of you keeping score at home, you may have probably already realized that ball was hit out to left center field. So the out at home plate was from 7 into the second baseman, Kim Ji-chan, to home. So scored 7-4-2. 1-2 pitch again. This time, Lee's able to lay off that one down in the dirt, and a terrific job by Hyun-Won Ho to block it. Tenth pitch of the outing from Lee Ju-yup, forthcoming. And it's grounded to first. A little bit of a slip, an underhand flip, and an out that retires the side. A big inning from China as they score twice on 3 hits, but leave a man in scoring position and run into an out at home plate. It could have been a lot worse for Korea. They escaped the 6th, right where they started it, with a 4-run lead. Let's go to the 7th.
초 한국 공격 6번 타자 중견수 박시원.
Top of the 7th inning, Republic of Korea offense. Batting 6th, center fielder Park Si-won.
Just when Korea looked like it was pulling away, China gets back into it. 6-2 our score after 6. Craig Durham, happy to have you with me here for the second of 3 games scheduled at Field 2 on this 5th day of the opening round of the 2019 WBSC U-18 Baseball World Cup. The host nation, Korea, looking to become the first 4-win team in the opening round if they can finish these 3 innings strong. Park Si-won, the center fielder, waits for a 1-1 pitch. Takes it just low. Gao Jie, China's righty, their 3rd pitcher of the day, comes home. Full count and a high foul out over the bleacher seats in left field. Remember, about 10-15 minutes ago, it was starting to rain harder. Fortunately, it's let up a little bit. And another 3-2 is called, strike 3. Second time that Park has gone down on strikes.
7번 타자 유격수 강민.
Batting 7th,
And the
shortstop
second straight
Park
called
Min.
3rd strike from Gao Jie. The way the pitching's gone for China, 3 pretty decent outings, 1 really good one. Starter Zhang Yifei gave up 4, walked 5, gave up just 3 hits in his 2 innings of work, but those 5 walks really hurt. Now ball lined to 3rd, 2 up.
8번 타자 포수 현원회.
Batting 8, catcher Hyun-Won.
Second pitcher for China today, Zhao Wei, went 2 1/3, struck out 2, walked 1, gave up 3 hits, but not a run. And now his outing of 2 1/3 has been matched by the man who succeeded him, Zhao Ji, who's given up 2 runs on 1 big fly ball that left the yard to right. Now a high pop fly out to right. Coming in on it. Catch is made and the side retired through 6 1/2. Korea leads China 6-2.
Foul for 25, catcher.
한국의 선수 교체가 있겠습니다. 포수 강현우.
There'll be a change of player. Catcher Kang Hyun-woo.
출연할 중국 공격. 7번 타자 포수 왕슈아이.
Bottom of the 7th inning, China offense. Batting 7th, catcher Wang Shuai.
A new catcher in for Korea and one coming to bat for China. Wang Shuai is making his 3rd plate appearance, having reached base twice already. He singled, wound up stranded on second in the 2nd. And he reached on an error, wound up stranded on second in the 5th. Pitch on its way. High. The new catcher for Korea is Kang Hyun-woo. Iju Yap on the hill with a 2-0 for a strike on the healthy cut. They're in the 5th inning on field 3 with Canada maintaining a 4-0 edge over Nicaragua. 2-1 meanwhile here, bunted up into the air and falling safely foul. To move the count to 2 balls and 2 strikes. Bottom 3rd of the order here for China. 6-2 game. Still plenty of time for this Chinese national team to make some noise. Maybe pick up a first victory of this tournament. Could be a real stunner if it happens. Softly hit back to the mound. 1-3 on the putout. Jang-Min-Shin,
8번 타자 3루수 장민신.
the one-out batter for China.
3rd baseman Jang Min-shin.
breaker for strike one. That was a tidy little pitch. 0-1 here is a strike, 0-2. Just after 5:30 local time here in Gijang. One game after this one here at Field 2 between Japan and Panama. I know at least earlier that game was scheduled to start at 8 o'clock local time. That may have shifted slightly because of the inclement weather. There's a real play it now mentality with good reason. When there's good weather, get going. Strike here called to sit down Zhang for the second out of the inning. So the reason would tell you, you want to just get out there and play it. TV scheduling may tell you otherwise with that Japan-Panama game, and we may wait for 8 o'clock. We'll see. Not really a concern right now. We've got a good one going here. Strike one into Wang Ruizhan, who came in. Sorry, this is the place formerly occupied by Wang Ruizhan. It's Ho Ham Gang, who swings and misses. So the third man to occupy the 9 slot. Hei Fu Min never came to bat. He couldn't catch a tough fly ball in right center, was taken out of the game. Now it's 0-2. And a foul to stay alive. Wang Ruizhan went 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts. And there is that littlest of pieces. And another 0-2 here. Called strike 3. Nice work from Lee Ju-yeop. And we are off to the 8th inning. Korea with a 4-run lead at 6-2.
초 한국 공격 9번 타자 우익수 이정.
Top of the 8th inning, Republic of Korea offense. Batting 9, right fielder Lee Jong-woo.
9-1-2. Lee Jong-woo leads off for Korea, to be followed by Lee Ju-young and Kim Ji-chan. A team that has led since the first inning, but except for a fleeting moment in the top of the 6th, has never really been all that comfortably ahead. China hanging around. A 4-run game, a 1-0 pitch, and a ball down and in. 2-0. Zhao Jie has been very effective. He's retired 4 in a row and 6 of the last 7, with one notable exception, the only home run of the game. Two-run blast from Park Joo-hong, without which this would really be a game. Two balls, two strikes. Breeze continues to blow across the field from right to left. 2-2, hard liner to short, and it's caught. Gijang-Hyundai get down for it.
이번 주문 타자 이주영.
Batting first.
Making sure he didn't have to make a throw.
Lee-Ju-hyung.
That one slipped. The fifth chance for Lee Ju-young, who's reached base 3 out of his first 4 tries. Has only hit a single that came in the 4th inning. A couple of walks, a run scored, and a high pop fly. Can of corn for Cao Yang Kang. 2 up, 2 down to start Korea's 8th.
이번 타자
Kim
1루수
Ji-chan
김지태.
trying to
Second
find his
baseman,
way
Kim
aboard for a
Ji-chan.
4th time. This top of the order, they've really gotten it done. He's been on 3 times, Kim's been on 3 times, and Nam Ji-min in the on-deck circle has a couple of RBIs. Everybody getting together on the mound for China. This seems like an odd time for a meeting. Zhao Jie's really dealing. If anything, I wouldn't want him to be taken out of his routine, but he liked what his coach had to say. Saw the broad grin. I'd really love to know what that meeting's purpose and message was. Two curveballs, a 1-1 count. Kim grounded out to first base his last time up. He pops up the 1-1 pitch, so falls down 1-2. That was a pitch he could have handled. Probably one he'd like to see again. Now the count moves even. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs with the bases empty. Korea leading China 6-2 behind 7 hits. A ground ball off the mound, up the middle and into center field. An 8th hit for this Korean national team in its final game of the opening round, and a little bit of 2-out life in the top of the 8th inning.
3번 타자 1루수 남진.
Batting third, first baseman Nam Ji-min.
This is not where China wanted to be, dealing with Nam Ji-min, already owner of 2 RBIs. Though hitless and 0 for 3 in the game, and that's all for Zhao Jie. So there was the meeting that knocked him out of his rhythm, and now he's been knocked out of the game. We'll come back and tell you about the new pitcher in just a moment.
중국의 선수 배치가 있겠습니다. 투수 왕웨이.
There'll be a change of player. Pitcher Wang Wei-yi.
Wang Wei-yi, another right-hander for China. The fourth pitcher of the day for a team that's really been battling out there on the mound against a potent Korean lineup. Finding success really everywhere they've turned. One of the best outings certainly belonged to the man who just left, Zhao Jie, who made one mistake. Really paid for it. Gave up the 2-run homer to Pak Ju-hong with 2 outs in the 6th. Allowed just 3 base runners in total. And now we'll see what Wang can do to get out of this 8th inning with the score still at 4, the lead still at 4 for Korea. The runner goes, the pitch is high. And Kim Ji-chan has his 2nd steal of the day and his team's 3rd. And that could be big if there's a ball sent into the outfield. Six stolen bases in the tournament for Kim Ji-chan. Korea as a team has 8, so it's safe to say he's the base stealing threat. And now a 2-0 count and a chance that Nam Ji-min will see something he can drive. Two-0, fouled. That one hit the mesh netting, no need for the whistle. Despair on the face of Nam Ji-min, feeling he could have sent that ball out in the other direction. The right-hander is set and ready, and now he'll spin and take a crow hop down the backside of the mound. Two-one pitch. Off the end of the bat, popped up. Near the first base side dugout. It was playable. But Lee Yu-yang couldn't get to it, and it's 2-2. Now, precedent would tell you he's about to be taken out of the game, though I don't think he will be. Wishes he'd been able to squeeze that one, though. Might have had a tough time looking up into the lights. It's that tricky time of night, just before sunset. Clouds hanging overhead, the lights having just come on. And now a 2-2 pitch again sent up into that tricky sky. Still 2-2. Tough out here for Wang Wei-yi. It seems only fitting that the count would go full the way these two have been battling one another. We'll see a 7th pitch in this at bat, at least. Runner goes. What a jump. He has 3rd base stolen as Nam takes first on the walk. And things developing here with 2 outs for Korea.
4번 타자 좌익수 박주홍.
Batting 4th, left fielder Park Ju-hong.
Park Joo-hong. The big home run his last time up, 2 walks prior to it. A good eye taking that one off the outside part of the plate. The 2-0 pitch, ball 3, and really doesn't look like Wang Wei-Yi wants any part of Park. But in losing him, he would load the bases. Just 3 strikes among his first 10 pitches. Three strikes, all that he's thrown in his first 11 pitches, and the bases are now loaded. And I just got to keep thinking about that mound visit that came after the first 2 quick outs here in the 8th inning.
Third baseman,
Liner to short, a pop out to left. Zhao Jie cruising right along, and then onto the mound came everybody, including one of China's coaches. And what followed was a pretty good battle between Kim Ji-chan and Zhao Jie. Kim winning the battle with a single that knocked China's 3rd pitcher of the day out of the game. And here we keep on playing in the top of the 8th inning with the bases loaded. Now a 1-0 count on Shin Jun-woo. The meeting may have been to tell Zhao Jie that it was going to be his last hitter no matter what, but I can't think of any reason why you'd want to get a guy out of his routine when he's been as effective as Zhao Jie was throughout his outing here this evening. And now to have Wang Wei-Yi just missing with everything. That's 7 straight balls. At least there may have been an 8th before it. And 3-0, he might walk in a run. I'd expect Shin will be taking. Takes a strike. This is the first appearance on the mound for Wang Wei-Yi since China's first game. It was the first game of the tournament, number 1. Gave up 8 runs in 1 inning, though they were all unearned runs. 3-1 pitch, bounce back to him. He has it, and the side is retired. Korea leaves them loaded yet again. This team has now left 12 men on base. And we'll go to the bottom of the 8th inning with the score, Korea 6 and China 2.
8말 중국 공격 1번 타자 유격수 장현타오.
Bottom of the 8th inning, China offense. Batting first, shortstop Tang Wen-tao.
The Korean national team just 6 outs away from advancing to the Super Round with a 4-1 opening round record, with that only loss coming by a final score of 1-0, but still some unfinished business. A 4-run lead to protect. The top of the order here to begin China's half of the 8th. The shortstop, Gijang-Hyundai, having himself a fine afternoon and evening. He's 2 for 3 with a single, a triple, and a run scored. Fly out to left field mixed in, and a strike called over the inner half. It's 1-1. That's a perfect pitch from U-18. A big cut. It's 1-2. Heard the collective groan come out of the first base side dugout. Korea thinking they might have had an out there, and that one was close. I'm glad that never in my entire life will I have to make that call. As here's a swing and a miss. No doubt about that one. 3 straight strikeouts for Lee Ju-yeon.
2번 타자 우익수 신윤빈.
Batting second, right fielder Shin Won-bin.
Good curveball. Now Jing-Won-bin, who opened the scoring for China in the 6th inning with an RBI single. That 6th inning, in which China scored 2, was a moment when I almost feel like Korea locked this game up, which is an odd thing to say about the only inning when they gave up any runs. But they had just taken a 6-0 lead, and then all of a sudden, a triple and a single, it was 6-1. A walk and a double, it was 6-2. But that double, which brought in a run, also brought a second out of the inning. Young Sheng-ao was thrown out trying to score behind his teammate. One batter later, it was all over, and China hasn't had a base runner since. Now 1-2. The right-hander delivers, and it's rolled weakly to first. It stays fair, and there's 2 outs.
Batting third, second baseman Yang Chang-ao.
Canada maintains that 4-0 lead over Nicaragua in the 6th inning, and they're threatening to run away with it. Bases are loaded with none out in the top of the 6th for Canada. And a strike here as Lee Ju-yeon is 1 out away from moving us into the 9th. Down and in. 1-1. A 1-2 pitch. In the air to right field, pretty deep. But back there with room is Lee Jong-woo to make the catch that retires the side, and order will go to the 9th with Korea ahead of China 6-2.
초 한국 공격 6번 타자 김결수 박지현.
Top of the ninth inning, Republic of Korea offense. Batting sixth, center fielder Park Si-won.
6, 7, 8 in the order for Korea, just trying to build on top of a 4-run advantage after 8 innings of play. 6 runs, 8 hits, and 2 errors for Korea. Wang Wei-yi, the righty, the 4th Chinese pitcher, starts the 9th inning with strike 1. Park Si-won, the left-handed batter, a walk and 0 for 3 ever since. And he backs up out of the way of ball 1. Hard ground ball into left field and a leadoff base runner for Korea. That's something they haven't enjoyed very often today.
7번 타자 유격수 강민.
First leadoff runner since the 6th first leadoff hit. Period. First time the leadoff man's recorded a hit. 2 leadoff walks issued earlier came around to score. 7 walks in total from China's pitching staff today. Certainly helped Korea take this lead. Of the 6 runs Korea has scored, 3 of those runners reached via the walk. The other 3 that scored reached via an extra base hit. A couple of doubles and a homer. The 1-0 at the knees for a strike. This is the shortstop, Pak Min. 2 for 4. Runner goes, throw to second. A nice save by Gijang-Hyundai. Shortstop coming across the bag and keeping that one from winding up in right center field. Looked like a pretty good release from Wang Shuai, but the ball just sailed towards the first base side of the second base bag. And the snow cone grab by China's shortstop. 1-2. Flied out to right foul. So some success on the base paths today. 5 steals for Korea. One and 2 coming. Ground ball. Almost an instant replay of Park Si-won's single. That one just past the dive of Zhang at third, and it's 1st and 3rd with none out.
8번 타자 포수 강현.
Batting eighth, catcher Kang Hyun-woo.
Pitching change for China. A 5th pitcher to tell you about in just a minute.
전국에 선수 교체가 있겠습니다. 투수 CLCGM.
There'll be a change of player. Pitcher Si-jie.
China's 5th pitcher of the day is Shi Jie. Two runners on, first and third with nobody out. Is this going to be the inning when Korea finally makes a statement and pulls ahead beyond reach? 12 runners left on base through the first 8 innings of this ball game. First turn at bat for Korea's second catcher today, Kang Hyun-woo. First curve from Che. Tried it again. Not quite the same result though, a ball and a strike. Chopper hit towards third. They'll get the out at second. They'll throw it over to first. And it's a double play, 6-4-3. Heck of a job by Zhang and Yang up the middle. Not to mention the stretch and the pick from Lee Yu-yang. All around, good infield defense. Funny thing is, it worked out okay for Korea too, as that's the game's 7th run for Korea coming in. Shea Shi-jae loves it. Base is empty, 2 gone. And first pitch swinging, a fly ball out to right field. And just a total of 3 pitches thrown for the side to turn over. Bottom of the 9th, upcoming. China needs 5 to send us to extras, 6 to walk off winners here at Field 2 on the final day of the opening round for Korea.
한국의 선수 교체가 있겠습니다. 투수 서현동.
For each English player, pitcher Paul Yong-dong.
구원의 긴급 공격 7번 타자 좌익수 고영건.
Bottom of the 9th inning, China offense.
Korea taking a 4-0 lead early, expanding that to a 6-0 lead, now carrying a 7-2 advantage into the bottom half of the 9th here in Gijang at Hyundai Dream Ballpark, Field 2, on the 5th day of the opening round of the 2019 WBSC U-18 World Cup. Wei Yun-dong, the lefty who was the tough luck loser in the 1-0 defeat against Australia, out there in search of the last 3 outs. Misses with the couple to start his outing, 2-0. Dropping down is Gao after being hit there. And just 3 forgettable pitches. Way to get his outing started. Got him right in the elbow. Throws the bat and then drops down in the crouch. Really just a tune-up inning for Wei. Lu Bin Bin, the DH who drove in a run with a double his last time up, waits patiently to climb into that right-handed batter's box. Now he's allowed in. At the bottom of the 9th, allowed to continue. From the belt, a swinging strike. Hard to hit what you can't see. Saw Lou with his eyes closed as he went after that one. Nothing in 2. "11 strikeouts from Korean pitching today. Sorry, 10 strikeouts. 4 from Oh Won-Sok, 3 from Jang Jae-young, and 3 from Lee Ju-yeol. And now 1 from Wei Yun-dong. China down to their last 2 outs.
Batting 6th, first baseman Lee Yu-young.
Up high, ball 1. Ground ball could end this thing. Send Korea to 4 wins, becoming the first team with 4 wins in this tournament. Missing badly with 2 though, to get things started with Lee Yu-young, who's singled, lined out softly to 3rd, and grounded out to 1st. Two and 1. A little bit late in pulling the trigger there, but judging by where that last pitch had been called a strike, you understand why Lee Yu-young went after it. Now he'll have to protect. Pops up the 2-2, and now we've got 2 outs in the bottom of the 9th. Nice job whipping off the mask. Kang Hyun-woo with the catch. It all comes down to this for China. In danger of falling to 0-4, becoming the first 4-loss team in this tournament. Spain fell for a 3rd time today. They're 1-3, and boy, are they a good 1-3 team. They could have easily won all 3 of those games that they dropped. 1 strike on Wang Shuai. As we come barreling towards the finish line here at field 2. The 0-1 pitch. In there for a strike. Nothing in 2. Wei Yundong seems to have shaken off his early control troubles and now starts from the belt and brings it home. Well, he put it right where he wanted to, but didn't get Wong to bite. A look at first. A 1-2 pitch, and there's the swing and the miss, and that's the ball game. A nice job by this Korean pitching staff limiting a pesky Chinese lineup to just 2 runs on 6 hits while putting together 7 runs on 10 hits of their own, each side committing a couple of errors. It wasn't a perfect game for Lee Sung-rul's club, but it was certainly good enough to get the job done and finish the opening round 4-1. They are in first place in Group A and may remain there throughout the rest of this opening round. Tip of the cap to Korea, who will go home and won't be back here until Thursday when we begin the super round. The other 2 teams to come out of Group A, a big mystery as of now. It'll be any combination of Australia, Canada, Nicaragua, and the Netherlands. 2 of those 4 teams will advance, as China will go to the consolation round 0-4. A team that's got a really good chance to win some games in the second round of this tournament. Certainly hope you enjoyed the broadcast and the ball game today, and stick around because we've got lots more for you from Hyundai Dream Ballpark in Gijang, Korea, including a game between Japan and Panama, which I imagine will start a little bit sooner than the 8 o'clock tentative time we have penciled in. Keep checking WBSC.org and at WBSC on Twitter for updates. Until that game begins, Craig Durham saying so long for now, and thanks for tuning in. Congratulations to Korea on a 7-2 win.
유격수 강민.
Batting third, second base.
이번 타자 유도수.
second, right fielder Shin Won-bin. Batting sixth, first baseman Lee Yu-yang.
오늘의 세 번째 경기 한화 대 일본의 경기가 오후 8시부터
빨리.